Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here, and what I want to do with this video is basically put together a list of things that I want to make sure all of you do not miss when it comes to Season of the Worthy. We have less than 6 days left in the season, and most of these probably wouldn't take you too long to grind out or make sure you just pick up or go by, whatever it may be. I just want to make sure you guys are aware of everything that is going to be leaving at the end of the season and give you a couple pointers of things that you don't want to miss out on. So, final week of Season of the Worthy to-do list, here we go. Alright, so first let's start with the Season Pass. Now, one quick reminder, if you did not pick up everything from the Season of Dawn Season Pass, you can actually log into Bungie.net, log into your account in the top corner. If you click on your account and you see like the Season Pass or Season Progress, you can click on that, and if there's any of these little nodes that you didn't pick up from a previous season, say like this Glimmer node, but the same thing was actually not picked up in my Season of Dawn Pass, actually went, and it was like Glimmer, one of the random couple things that I had forgotten, and I literally clicked on the Glimmer from the Season of Dawn Pass, and it sent it straight into my character right now. So you still can redeem that stuff. Now, I don't know if that stuff is going to carry over into Season 11, and I probably wouldn't bet that they're going to hold it that long. So if you do have anything remaining from Season of Dawn, make sure you pick it up now before you lose something you may have just forgotten previously. But for the current season, couple main things that you want to get. One, all the cosmetics, the ornaments. You have a set of ornaments for all 3 of your classes if you have those. The ship that you can get, and the weapon skins, and all of that type of stuff. Make sure you acquire that. If there's any materials, these destination resource bundles, you're going to need materials for upgrading and infusing and all that stuff going in the future. So again, all your destination materials are going to be beneficial. Exotic engrams, make sure you cash those in so you don't lose out on those. Because again, it may carry over so you can redeem these next season, but also it may not, so you don't want to waste these for sure. The biggest thing that you want to make sure and get is in this 37 to 57 level range, and it's the high level stat roll set of armor right here. Now, they're not going to be perfect, but they are going to be a fairly high set of stats. You've got 63, 65, class item's a class item. I still wish those had stats, but again, argument for another day. And 66 on the legs, and 67 on the gauntlets. Altogether, that's, I think, like roughly 260 points for stats. Now, are they distributed perfectly for your exact build? Probably not exactly, but they are still going to be a very high stat total. And the nice thing is, since we know about sunsetting, or weapon and armor retirement, whatever you want to call it, basically, since this is a set of armor from Season of the Worthy, this is actually going to continue to be infusible, so you'll be able to take it up to max level for any content, all the way through Season 13, because we're in Season 10 right now. Season 11 is the one that's being teased and coming up in like 6 days. Season 12 is what's probably going to launch with the fall expansion, and then the first season after the fall expansion, so picture what would start in December like it did this time around, probably ended like right at the start of March. You're going to be able to use this armor and infuse it to the top for that entire duration. So having a high stat set of armor that works for another 9 months is a good thing to have, just in case you don't get good stat rolls or you don't play that much. The guaranteed high stat set of armor is something you want to make sure you take with you. So don't miss out on that, and just make sure you cash out everything, enhancement cores, shaders. Just finish everything up on the Season Pass, check every character, check every node, make sure you redeem everything so you go into next season not missing anything. Now, there are 2 quests that are going to be going away at the end of the season, and the reason they're going to be going away is because all of the seasonal content related to Season of the Worthy is going to go away. 4th Horseman came from the legendary lost sectors. Those are going away. The bunkers, both on all of them on EDZ, Io, and the Moon, are going away. The Seraph Tower public event is going away. All of the content related to this season, especially the seasonal activities, they're all going away at the end of the season, and you won't be able to do anything with those. And specifically, this shotgun is acquired in one of the ending pieces, is in the legendary lost sector. I think it's called the Quarry. Now, the legendary lost sectors themselves are on a 3-day rotation. I don't know exactly where it is right now in that 3-day rotation, but as there are 6 days to go, you may have 1 or 2 more chances for that lost sector to show up. So if you haven't got the 4th Horseman quest yet, dig it up. I've got a video about it if you want to know, and go get this thing. Is it the best shotgun in the world and a boss melter that beats every other thing? No, but it is actually a very fun shotgun to use. Could be really potent at some point down the road. You never know when things get buffs, and it is actually pretty good at melting enemies if you do get up close and personal. Now, if you're able to farm for the catalyst, which I got from Legendary Lost Sectors, could come from public events in a couple places, but if you get the weapon, try and farm Legendary Lost Sectors. Doesn't need to be a specific one. You can get it from there. You can get it by finishing the Seraph Tower public event, which is harder to do now, so Lost Sectors may honestly be easier. But it is definitely worth it because it adds a round to the magazine, which improves your DPS, and basically doubles the reload speed, which will also improve your DPS. So the catalyst, again, catalysts are something that even seem much harder to come by than exotic weapons. They may at some point put this exotic weapon into just the generic exotic loot pool, but again, it's a question as of when. Ariana's Vow, which was from Shadowkeep back in October, still is not available for anybody who missed that season. So again, this is why I like these quests that are for specific weapons. Try and do them now so you don't miss out on them. This is one. The other one is Felwinter's Lie. Now, this shotgun is both for one that's going to be a very viable PvP weapon for a long time. The perks on this weapon are honestly pretty stellar. The combination of the range, shot package, the aggressive frame, quick draw, opening shot, or the option of Vorpal weapon if you want to smash a couple supers, and a ranged masterwork make this a very, very viable weapon. Cool Guy and different people have done some testing about this weapon, and it's honestly pretty stellar in PvP. And the nice thing is, you can get it by just doing a quest. You don't have to go farm for a potential god roll. The god roll is sitting here waiting for you, and you don't want to miss it. The hardest part of the quest was actually done by the community already, and the bug that was out there has been fixed. So if you have not finished this quest, one, there's fairly cool lore to it, which you will not be able to do, which actually kind of sucks. But they're changing that stuff in year 4, so hopefully that'll be fixed in the future. And two, there is the ending story mission is part of one of the bunkers that you don't get to see any other way, and the way they present the story is actually very cool. So again, try and go experience this quest and get this weapon, because I can tell you, this is going to be a viable weapon for the next 9 months in PvP, and it's probably going to be towards the top of the shotgun meta in PvP for those approximate 9 months that you can use it. So Trials, Iron Banner, in-game, you're going to be able to use it in there, and every other bit of PvP. So you're going to be seeing the shotgun for a long time, so don't miss it. Make sure you take the time and get it. Both of these two shotgun quests do involve a fair amount of shotgun kills. I've got a video about actually getting shotgun kills, just kind of a build, some mods you can use, and just kind of a way to be efficient in the kills that you need. So check that one out. I'll put a link up here in the top right now so you can see that as well, because you do need a fair amount of shotgun kills for this weapon, so doing them efficiently will make the grind a little lighter. If you are a Triumph Hunter, Seal Hunter, you may be completely done with these already, so this may be a moot point. But again, if you are going for any of those types of things, that stuff will no longer be available for Season 10 when it rolls over to Season 11. So whether you need to do random little stuff like this, I honestly have just forgotten I hadn't done, clear a Seraph Bunker while wearing a full set of 7 Seraph armor, it's worth 50 Triumph score, but I'm not going to be able to ever get it again, so I need to try and at least check that box. And if you know, this is going to be your last weekend of trials, if you're trying to get all the Season 10 boxes, and also your Grandmaster Nightfalls. The way they have it set up right now, if you go to the director, and you look at the Nightfalls, you have the main Nightfall Ordeal, which is going to be one of the strikes that is related to the Grandmaster and Conqueror title. And then you've got the other 5 that are available that you can pick from. So you may not have done any Grandmasters at all, but if you got up to level 1025 with your character, and you have a couple other friends that want to do it or want to look on LFG, technically you could knock out Grandmaster Nightfall this week, even if you haven't started it, because you actually have access to all 6 Grandmaster Nightfalls that you can try and do this week. So if you haven't gone for this one and you still want to go for Conqueror, try out a Grandmaster Nightfall, you can definitely do that still for these last 5.5-ish days. Alright, so the next thing is going to go away is going to be your bunkers. All 3 of them. European Dead Zone, Io, and the Moon, which, as I said, also involves the Felwinter's Lie quest. So if you don't finish the Felwinter's Lie quest, the last step is in the bunker, so please make sure you finish that thing before the season is over. But the main things that you're going to be working with in the bunkers are, 1, using up your currencies, and then making sure you acquire everything else that's related to the season. Let's take a look at the armory first. And the big piece is, how can you spend your currencies? Both your Warmind bits, regular version, and then your encrypted Warmind bits. Well, first thing are your mods. And when it comes to mods, there are some that each bunker has for sale. There's 2 of them. Once you level them up to the max level, you can buy them. So there are 6 total mods that you can earn from the bunkers just by leveling them up and then buying them with encrypted Warmind bits. When you have those 6, you're good. Now, there are other mods. Now, this is a full list of the Warmind mods, And as I said, there are only 6 that come from the bunkers. The way you know is, let's say, Seraph Bunker rank up reward. Anything else says complete the Seraph Tower public event, and you have a chance to get these to drop. They don't drop every time. I did have a pretty good run when I was doing my final run for the Felwinter's Light Quest and all that community effort. Now that is the harder event, I was actually getting a few of those to actually drop a bit more frequently. So if you're missing a few, try and spend some time in the public event, because that's where you're going to get the rest of these rewards. And honestly, my advice is, if you haven't tried out all of these, they are actually potentially cool. And we'll talk about all the weapons that you can still acquire and use these paired up with these mods. The Warmind Cell builds are actually quite a bit of fun, and you can do some pretty cool things with them. So if you do want to toy with that stuff later on, it's going to be viable for 9 months. So potentially they could have some really good uses. So if you don't have all the mods, remember, one, first make sure you check which ones need to be purchased from, like this one, Seraph Bunker Rank Up Reward. So EDZ, IO, and the Moon. Check all 3 bunkers. Make sure you've bought them all. And then also make sure you spend some time in the public event if you haven't finished this list. If you go to your general mods collection, it's the 6 on this second to last page. And the last page, it's this grouping right here. So you have a total of 18. So make sure you have all your mods. Now, outside of the mods themselves, you have the weapons, and the armor is kind of fine. You're going to be able to get your good set from the season pass, but the weapons themselves are really probably going to be the best place for you to spend your remaining currencies. Now, some of them are pretty easy to come across. You have a chance to buy 1 weapon every day if you got your season pass to rank 92, I believe. And all you have to do is come in here. You get to buy 1 per day. Go ahead and click on it, and you're good to go. It says limit 1 per day, so as soon as the daily reset happens, I'm just going to switch over to another weapon. I'm going to be able to buy 1. Now, it may not be the best roll in the world, but these seem to truly be the only weapons that are going to be viable with the Warmind Cell mods. All of these do require it, you know, a 7 Seraph weapon will have a chance to drop a weapon cell. If you're not using a 7 Seraph weapon, you can't really take advantage of the mods. So you're going to need at least 1 of each of these guns. Now, that purchase that I can literally only do 1 a day, I'm only going to be able to do it like 5 more times before the season is done, only cost me like 60 Warmind bits. It's not that many. I've played a decent amount this season. I finished upgrading every bunker, and I still have 6,300 of these Warmind bits left. So what is another way I can spend these Warmind bits and get a chance at more rolls on these weapons? Well, make sure you leave enough, or just, you know, do this on like the Sunday, Monday time frame when you're finally done before you log in. But if you go to the bunker upgrades, if you've upgraded everything, then the final thing underneath, and it's still always sitting there, is this bunker chipset upgrade. So it costs 500 Warmind bits, 5 shards and glimmer, not that big of a deal. You buy this. Sorry, I had to take a little break for noise outside. But once you buy that chipset, you'll come back to the main screen in whichever bunker you buy it in, and you're going to do a substantial chipset donation. And what that's going to do is give you a faction reward, just like any other vendor when you dump a bunch of tokens in. This is basically the same thing. You're leveling up the vendor, and this bunker is kind of working as a vendor. You click on it, and that time I got 2 pieces of armor, which, you know, that's probably not the greatest, but I've also had a weapon and an armor drop. So you basically have a chance, and one of your upgrades that you purchase, whatever bunker it's in, and all this stuff is mostly going to be done in the EDZ one, because it's the last one for the week, so it's kind of stuck here. But you still get a chance at 2 rolls. Sometimes it's weapons, sometimes it's armor, but you get a chance at a couple rolls. And that's really the only other place to spend those. So I can literally come down here, chipset, do it again, and drop it in again, pick it up, and that time I actually got a weapon. So make sure you use all of your regular Warmind bits by doing that. Leave yourself a little bit for that daily purchase. You probably only need like, you know, 300 more. But make sure you leave yourself a little bit for those, but then you can dump the rest into the chipsets and be done, because there's really no other place to spend those. Now, if we come back into the armory section, you're also going to notice this Seraph weapon frames. So these are your repeatable bounties that you can pick up. It's probably going to tell you something you got to do, get machine gun kills or something, who knows what. And then you're going to get a chance at a roll on that specific weapon. Now, 2 of the weapons are only going to come from the actual season pass. That's the submachine gun and then also, I think, the shotgun. But these 4 weapons here are going to be only available from the bounties or the chipsets, basically everything related to this season. So when we come back into the armory, you're going to look at the repeatable bounties, and this is where you're going to be spending your encrypted Warmind bits. Now, depending on how many you have, this may not take you that long to go through. This would basically have me doing 39 bounties if I wanted to go through all of these. Now, it doesn't matter which character I do this on because they're all sharing the same currencies. But if there's a certain weapon that I want to go for a good roll on, say the auto rifle could be something, I could pick this one up and work on this one. Now, I don't know how many auto rifles I can work on at the same time. It's probably one auto rifle at a time. So if you're kind of getting a decent spread, you know, you could pick up the auto rifle, the sidearm, and a machine gun, run around probably with that loadout because it's probably get kills with those weapons or something along those lines. Make sure you satisfy the requirements of the weapon, and you're going to get some chances at these weapons. But this is really the only other place where you're going to be spending the encrypted Warmind bits outside of trying to open the chest in the public event, and half the time I swear you get one back out of there anyway. So if you have public event farming to do, I might do that first, or maybe not blow through all of your encrypted Warmind bits if you're a little low on that number. But also, if you are working on these bounties, like for me to do 39 of these bounties is going to take a while, and over the course of 5 days, I may not get them all done and probably won't. But I still may go after a couple more rolls on each of these weapons. So for your regular Warmind bits, you've got your daily weapon purchase, and then, of course, your chip set to kind of level up the bunker and get just, you know, your little package from the bunker. And then for your encrypted Warmind bits, first make sure you buy all your mods, because those are going to cost you encrypted Warmind bits. And then, if you're doing any farming on public events for other mods, you might save some of those for opening the chest there, because that's going to give you a chance at, you know, gear out of there. And then last but not least, you know, you can pick up your bounties in here with those encrypted Warmind bits and spin the last ones you've got left. Either way, those are the 3 places where you can use these currencies, so try and empty all the currencies, because at the end of the season, they're going to be gone. So you may as well use them up as much as you can, see if you get something good. Alright, so you've finished everything for the season that you feel like you want to do. Your quests are done, both the exotic and Felwinter's Lie. You've seen the lore. You've got some decent rolls for your Seraph weapons. You've acquired all the mods that you think you're going to get, and you're pretty much done. But you're like, hey, maybe I want to get a jump on next season. Well, really the only thing you can do to get a jump on next season is doing bounties and carrying those into next season, so you have basically this stockpile of experience that you can turn in once you get to the right state. Now, the reason I say don't just like log in and turn them all in, because 2 things you want to make sure you have. 1, you want to make sure you have whatever next season's artifact is, so as you turn all these bounties in, the experience that you turn in is also going to apply to the artifact. You'll always get it for the season pass, but you want to make sure you have the artifact on that character, so you're, for 1, unlocking whatever the new mods are, and 2, also adding that experience towards your plus bonus, the power bonus that you're going to get, so that helps you get higher up as well. So 2 major things. 1, make sure you have your artifact before you turn them in. And 2, make sure you have a ghost equipped on that character that you're turning in the bounties for that has Guiding Light. It's 10% experience gains all the time, which includes all the time that you turn in bounties. Now, 1 bounty of, you know, say 10,000 experience, 10%, it's 11,000 experience. You're like, that's probably not that big of a deal. But if you have 55 bounties stocked up, 10% is going to add up to a lot. So just make sure, if say you only have 1 ghost that has Guiding Light, that if you're doing this over multiple characters, that you move the ghost over as well. Don't forget that step, because you'll be losing out on 10%. And if you have a lot of bounties, that's going to add up. But the bounties that you want to focus on are all the core ones that you're going to see in my list over here. Crucible, Vanguard, Gunsmith, Gambit, and actually 2 sets on the moon. The ones that you don't want to do, even though I am sitting in the bunker and there are weekly bounties that I could pick up that are probably worth more than some of these dailies that I've got stocked right here, I don't want to risk that a bounty potentially is still going to go away. Now, everything related to Season 10 is going away at the end of the season. The bunkers, all the quests I've mentioned, the Seraph Tower public events, the Legendary Lost Sectors, all that stuff is going away. So my guess is the bounties would actually go away too. So if I'm taking up space, because you do have a capacity on bounties, if I'm taking up space with bounties that could potentially drop out of my inventory when the season switches over to the new one, I'm literally just wasting my time and wasting my bounty capacity. So my advice, don't try and stock up on Seraph bounties. They potentially could go away and it's just going to be all for naught. But it does seem the core activities, which does include everything on the moon since that's part of the fall expansion and seems to be carrying over so far, those bounties are going to be carrying forward. So these are the ones that I would focus on. The moon, there's 2 easy ones. You can go talk to Eris and get her 2 weekly and pick up some daily bounties. And then the Lectern as well, related to all the nightmare hunts. You can get those weekly and daily bounties. Then, same thing. You've got Gambit, weekly, daily bounties. Gunsmith, same thing. Your daily and weekly bounties. Vanguard and Crucible. Now, I have a couple Iron Banner ones. I don't expect to get like brand new Pinnacle crazy stuff from them. I just know they're worth a decent amount of experience. I hadn't turned them in yet, so I figured I'd just save them because they're there. So I'm not expecting to like cheat the system. It's just worth a good chunk of experience, so I'm going to keep it. But the big thing is your weekly bounties are worth about 12,000 experience. So you want to make sure you have all of those possible. Then you want to roll over to daily bounties. Those are worth 6,000 experience. Try and have as many of those as possible. Now, if you're doing this on Monday before reset, you're not going to be able to stock up any more than whatever's available that day, so you're going to fill any holes of capacity that you have with repeatable bounties, which is nothing wrong. They're still with 4,000 experience, just dailies are worth more. Now, if you are working on this, I'm recording this on Thursday and posting it up, you know, kind of right around lunchtime whenever I finish this recording, you're still going to have like 4 or 5 days to work on this. And daily bounties actually have a bit of a rotation, not the Crucible bounties from Shacks. The daily bounties, they're not always going to be the same. So if I do 4 one day, I may come back to the next day and there are 2 that I haven't done before. So those are probably going to be a better, you know, use of my bounty capacity than say just doing all the weekly and dailies and then picking up all the repeatables I can and then I'm good. So the dailies you can hold more of as well. So if you do this over the course of a couple days, try and fill any holes with daily bounties. But if you're in a time crunch, obviously squeeze in repeatables wherever you need some space because some bounty is still better than no bounty. And the same thing applies for everything else. Vanguard, do your weeklies, do your dailies, any gaps and holes, do your repeatables. And that goes for Gambit and the Moon and the Lectern. Now, one thing to remember, your bounty capacity is also limited by your quests. If there are any quests that you have that you could potentially abandon, like I had a quest for the Legend of Acreus. I don't have the highest version of that because I haven't done Prestige Leviathan since I did that quest on PC. So I can abandon that quest because it's an exotic quest. Those don't ever disappear. Your progress part stays. And I can go pick it up later on when I know I'm going to work on that from Benedict 99, but it's not taking up space on my character right now, which is an important thing. But on the other side, things like ballistics logs, these are from the Black Armory. If you do want to hold on to these, it might not be a bad idea if you like, you know, farming for the Black Armory weapons, because these actually take you doing the weekly bounty for 801, turning them in, and then getting the ballistics log. So it's a bit of a process to go through. And one little, you know, 6,000 experience bounty, you'll get, it's not going to feel that much different if you have a couple of those, and this one spot is giving you something that took you like 5 weeks to earn. So make your decisions. Like, if I need to go into the system core vault in the Moon Lost Sector and open this thing up just to remove this one, yeah, I probably need to go do this, and I probably need to get 15 fusion rifle kills to get rid of this Essence of Servitude. But I haven't done all the little cat statues because I just haven't ever got around to it. And I don't want to delete these since I know I can just go walk around the moon, turn them all in, and be done. So I won't delete these, but I do need to go finish up these. So keep that in mind. Your quests would limit your capacity, so try and clear out what you can, but don't get rid of important things that take you some time to earn. But that basically wraps it up for bounties, because once you've got your capacity full, there's really not much else you can do until we get into the new season. And that's basically it for the checklist of Season of the Worthy. So remember, you can go through and check on any triumphs that you need to do. There's a big list of them. I'll put the link to the Bungie.net article that's kind of the help article of what's leaving. But everything's going to be going away. The quest for the fourth Horseman and the exotic catalyst could be hard to come by for a while. You've got the Felwinter's Lie, PvP shotgun. You don't want to miss out on that one, so please make sure you do that one. If you ever randomly play PvP and you ever might use a shotgun, it's going to be viable for 9 months in all PvP stuff, so please make sure you get that one. The mods and the weapons, those can actually have some very cool builds, so don't forget those. Try and at least get a few rolls on each if you can. Maybe you don't do every bounty that is possible for every weapon. That may take you too long, but on the other side, getting a couple rolls on each weapon, probably not a bad idea. So I hope this covered everything for you guys to kind of wrap up this last, 5 or 6 days here in Destiny 2. Season of the Worthy, because Season of the Redacted starts on Tuesday. Now, I will be covering that. I will be streaming it live. I'll probably be up before chatting with you guys because they're going to be doing some big announcements. I'm going to be live streaming those as well. And if anything happens in the next few days with regards to the big thing floating in the Tower Sky, the Almighty, I will be covering that as well. So stay tuned to the channel. If you haven't subbed to the channel yet, now is a great time. As we're getting into a new season, lots of new content will be coming to you guys. So hit that subscription button and the alert bell. Right there on the channel, and that'll keep information from me coming to you a lot more directly and hopefully making its way through the YouTube algorithm. You can also find me on Twitter and Twitch. So it's Ebontis on both, so you can find me everywhere. Ebontis and the cheetah. If you, trip over that symbol and name, it's likely you found me. Thank you guys very much for the support lately. We're not too far from 50K subs, so if you haven't subbed yet, please do. And let's see if we can hit that number. And all of you guys, enjoy your grinds. Finish up your season. Maybe you're taking a little bit of a break, but I wanted to remind you guys, if you were taking a break, or you were looking to jump back in here soon, a couple things you might want to knock out. Have a great one. Enjoy your weekend, and stay tuned. Could be some events happening the next couple of days. I mean, I feel like we have to blow up the Almighty at some point. I have no idea when that's going to happen. And then, of course, Tuesday, big reveals are going to be happening. So stay tuned. Lots of cool stuff to come. Have a good one, everybody. I'll see you soon.